so? Hello! It's me again. It's been a while, but I have another tablet review for you. XPPen very nicely sent me this tablet after I begged them because my previous one got a weird unfixable glitch. It's the XPPen Artist 15.6 Pro V2 to succeed their previous Artist 15.6 Pro. The specs on this one: this is a 15.6 inch 1080p display. It has an X3 Pro Smart Chip Stylus, which is 16,000 pressure levels of pressure sensitivity. It has a red dial with 8 customizable shortcut buttons. So this one has buttons on it, if you like that stuff. And the full rest of the specs will be in the video description because there's a lot of numbers and stuff. So my initial impressions, it does feel very nice and premium out of the box. It's very thin, like their previous tablets. It's quite a big footprint for the 15.6 inch work size. It's physically larger than my previous 16-inch tablet, but the work size is a little bit smaller as it has quite a large bezel on it. So with my setup, it does cover my upper monitor just a tad, but the previous tablet had the cables coming out the top, which definitely blocked the upper monitor, so this is a nice substitute, to be honest. This one comes with 3 cables, because this tablet supports USB-C output, so that's for your sort of modern MacBooks and phones and stuff. Old dinosaurs like me that have a desktop PC or a very, very old laptop will need a separate 3-in-1 cable with HDMI. If not, and you have a fancy schmancy new laptop or MacBook, etc., you can just use the USB-C output. There's different slots depending on which of those outputs you want to use, and they are labeled with a little diagram. The pen is a really nice upgrade. It's got a rubbery grip this time and 2 little buttons and an eraser, whereas my previous one for the 16TP just had the 1 button. It feels really nice in the hand. So once I got the creature distracted, I was able to set it up properly. It does have some external buttons to change the brightness if you so want to. People who like a matte paper-like feel on their screens will be happy here because the screen is automatically a matte kind of surface. I find this kind of texture on screens leaves a tiny bit of grain though. Stuff looks a tad grainy, but I think that's just because I was so used to my previous tablet. The buttons, so there's 8 hotkey buttons on the side here, including the spinny wheel, so you can set all of these buttons into the driver software here, which looks much sleeker than their previous driver designs, so that's quite nice. You can set them to whatever you want. You can customize the pen buttons too, including the eraser, and change the pen pressure sensitivity as always. Since the driver software looks so much nicer and updated, I'm hoping there's less driver issues with this tablet. With my past XPPen tablets, I've had some times where the PC forgets the tablet exists and I have to replug it. It's an easy fix, but hopefully it doesn't do that this time. So with the little spinny wheel, it's quite easy to change what that does in the settings too. There is a default hotkey that changes what the zoom does if you want to quickly change it on the go. You might have to change some things yourself manually because I changed my zoom in and out on CSP to 1 and 2 because I was used to that from Toon Boom, so the zoom didn't initially work, but it was quite easy to go into the driver and change that myself to 1 and 2. After that it worked just fine, and it's quite easy to switch between the different functions with the hotkey. You might have to change your other settings just in case you changed your hotkeys in your software, but it's quite easy to do. The pen itself feels really good when you're drawing, so it managed to pick up all my inputs pretty well, like no hiccups or anything. It didn't feel weird at any point. I didn't feel like it missed anything. I've used this a couple of days now, including for work and a few commissions, and it kept up. It didn't make me falter at any point. It's advertised with 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, which sounds very impressive. You know, it's hard to... That is so many that it's kind of hard to know how that compares to lower levels, but I'm pretty sure that just means it's going to take whatever you're going to throw at it. As you can see, it also supports pen tilt, which is great for those brushes that have a sort of tilt function built in. So my favorite pencil, you hold the pen vertically, makes a fine line, you hold it at a tilt, and it makes that nice soft, shady pencil line. Yeah, all in all, it feels great. Been using it for a few days, and I'm pretty happy with it. So here's a little speed paint for you that I did with the tablet. I'm really quite happy with this tablet, and I really hope it'll last. I just wanted to bring up what I mentioned way at the beginning of the video, where my previous tablet with XPPen had a weird unfixable glitch, and I'm really hoping that doesn't happen this time. So what happened is that after a couple of years or so, the tablet would kind of have a really crazy screen tear. Like the screen would jiggle quite a lot. It was only fixed if I unplugged the tablet for a few hours, plugged it back in, and then it was gone. But as you can imagine, during work this isn't the most convenient of fixes. It was very tolerable. It only really happened once every couple of months, so it really wasn't... it was frustrating, but it wasn't too bad. It seemed to be triggered when the refresh rate on the tablet changed, which tended to happen when you would open full screen software such as a video game. So I found if I was opening a game that I hadn't opened before, and by default they usually open full screen instead of borderless or windowed or whatever, and that would cause the refresh rate to change, and that would really freak the tablet out, and then it would do the thing. It was fixed for a while when I managed to change all my current game settings to only open windowed borderless, which I prefer anyway, but whenever I opened a new game it would trigger the whole thing, and it was very frustrating. It also happens sometimes if I nudged the cable plugged into the power. However, the last couple of months it started happening a lot more frequently, maybe once a week, and then it ended up happening once a day. So I did a little bit of digging after that, and after I digged around and read it a little bit, it seemed to be that there was kind of an insufficient amount of power going into the tablet and it would make it jiggle. And then some people on Reddit seemed to be able to fix this issue when they opened the tablet up itself and rejigging and tightening the electronics around the input where the power enters the tablet. Obviously this isn't ideal. You don't really want to be going around opening up your tablets and jigging with things that you don't really understand and could be dangerous. So I didn't really want to do this. It's happened on a few XPPen tablets before, like the Innovator 16 in particular seems to have this problem with people. I didn't see much about the 16TP, which was good, like hopefully that was a less susceptible tablet, but mine fell into this problem. It was a huge shame because I really loved it, like it was perfect size. 16 inches is like the sweet spot for me. It's not too big for my desk and it's still quite a nice large size. It was also 4K, which is really overkill for 16 inches, but I found it really nice and crisp. It was just like a lovely little extra thing to have. It was also touchscreen, which I never used, but you know, it's nice to have it. So it was a real shame for me to give up that tablet, but I'm glad that this one functions really well, and I just really hope that XPPen has sorted out their power issue, because it would really suck for it to have the same kind of screen teary problem as that one had. But they seem to be pumping out a lot of decent tablets, so I'm really hoping that they improve each time. So thank you XPPen again for sending me this one. I really hope I can use it for a good long time. I'll keep you guys updated in the comments. Same as before, if anything happens, to give you an idea of the longevity of this tablet. But yeah, thank you XPPen, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.